What's up, friends? We got a new backpack to look at from Trakke.
Trakke, oh, hand-shocked in Scotland. Dry finish wax canvas. We'll be looking at 3 items today. Look at it. Let it in. Oh, so classy. Sophisticated, yet simple.
All the zips are water sealed. They've got nice ring zip pulls, metal buckles on the backpack. I really dig this. It's so simple, bespoke kind of old world vibe that Trakke always has, but with enough pocketing for modern life. We'll also be featuring their new sling. It's a good looking sling. It's big. It's got like some capacity in it, and a new tech pouch. Okay, so we're gonna go through all of those things in here. This is a 25-liter bag. I'm gonna get into all the details, but first, this episode is brought to you by Western Rise. These are the Evolution pants from Western Rise. My go-to pants every day. I have 2 pairs of these, gray and black, and when I'm not testing out a bunch of pants for a video, that's basically the pants that I have in my closet. Super lightweight, ultra breathable, and moisture wicking. These are like a killer pant for the beach, for the mountain, for the city. They're actually great for travel because they pack down super small, like smaller than a t-shirt, and they don't wrinkle very much. You can wear them multiple times without washing. You've got 5 pockets, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then an extra 6th behind the back here, which is zippered. So you can kind of keep stuff secure in that one. Shout out to Western Rise for supporting the channel. You can get your own Evolution pant. They're surprisingly affordable for the quality and the amount of utility I get out of these things. Seriously, check the link in the description. That supports the channel, okay? Thanks to Western Rise for supporting independent media and Chase Reeves and America, okay? Now, everything here is finished, and it's their dry finish, waxed canvas. It's like super, how do they do this? It's dry. It doesn't have a waxy feeling on it, okay? But it still has this sort of density to it that makes it feel like a waxed canvas. I really love these materials. It's been great in like dirt, even weather. You've got water sealed zips all over this place, so it's solid, and you can refinish these. They've got accessories for that on their website. Okay, this 25-liter backpack is big. Okay, this is big enough for a lot of you to do the office and the gym. Throw your shoes in a pouch, have them in here. Maybe another pouch or a packing cube of sorts for workout clothes / sweaty stuff. I'm going to show you more on the capacity here in a second. One important part is these materials feel great in the everyday. The dirt, the water resistance, it's also kind of elevated. It doesn't feel like something you picked up at Walmart, right? Maybe it can work with your suit. I think a lot of you can work this with a suit or jeans and a blazer or something like that. So this is very office bagable when you need a backpack that has some capacity. I love this silhouette. I just love the way it looks. Little design line right here with some curves. You got the nice curves there, okay? Big, just not a lot of structure on these sides. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. Our straps have that wax canvas here. No mesh, but it's got a little bit of a different material. Again, just feels like the same almost thing that they're making the bag out of, but not with the wax at all. I worried a little bit about these straps maybe pinching some people's necks. If you're a little like corn-fed Nebraska boy or something, you might be getting a little, hey, listen, man, I've been on the testosterone for a while, so my neck's grown about 4.5 inches in diameter. Might not be very comfortable in this, but for myself personally, I love it. It fits great. It's comfortable. It's just a sack. It's just a sack with enough pocketing. In fact, the pocketing may be just perfect for me, personally. Personally perfect pocketing, okay? So you have a front pocket right here. A little bit of admin, whoa. A little bit of feel free falling out of there. Pouch, like fat pen thing. Some elastic stuff here. I personally don't use much of this, but it's nice that you can kind of hide something away. I kind of wish it was just 2 big ones. They've typically done 2 big ones here, and I could lose this because I've got these guys, or I can just clip my pens onto this. Why do I like that? So I can fit my hand easily, and maybe I can fit a little bit bigger stuff in there. As it is, you can see the size. Then this pocket here, zippered pocket. This arguably could be I could see Trakke having a mesh that they use. Why? So I could see through it a little bit to get a sense every time I open it up what's in there. But this pocket itself is perfect for the kind of stuff that I'm like, I always need you, but I never want to see you. Be careful not to put too much heavy stuff or bulky stuff in here though, because number 1, there's a better place for that, show you. Number 2, it'll kind of weigh this down, and you'll get a bit of frump going there, and it'll kind of knock on your hands every time that you're getting in and out of this front admin pocket. For myself, personally, I tend to just leave this kind of open, and if I need to, I'll just zip it up, but for the most part, I'm just kind of leaving it open in my transit, because I like to be able to quick access in here. But to be honest, I used to put my notebook in here, I used to put my notebook in there, but now I have a different spot for it. I'll show you that in a second. So this tech organization, leave it open or close it. What I was bringing that up for is you do have a lot of visibility here. So if you wanted to get, like, you can open it up and really get access to stuff, you can do that. Okay, on the back here, that's the front. Here's our main compartment, and then we have our laptop pocket on the back by the straps. And you can see we've got a little bit of, like where our handle is, there's a little bit of material between our straps and our zipper there. Okay, this is our laptop pocket. Goes all the way down, all right? It's only sort of padded. Not really much at all. There's like a binding piece of fabric down at the bottom. This is large enough, however, for you to get a laptop in with a protective case, okay? Because this is just goes all the way in. Just goes. I got my business papers. Got my business papers, man. Are you a high-performing individual? You better get some place to put your papers, man. Shout out to the patrons who have heard the podcast episode. I have a Patreon. There's a private podcast in there. I occasionally update. Shout out to the patrons for listening to the most recent one. The important thing about the laptop is it's very simple, very, like, they could have put a little more, I think they could have put a little more structure in this back panel, possibly wrapped that structure around or built something in with a little more security down here. You do have a lot of materials around the corner, but again, if you're really laptop safety conscious, you can fit your laptop in a case inside of here, right? Easy does it. Now, one of the most important things for me in here, you see this little guy? See this little dude? It's just a big pouch. No divider in it. I love this. What's it for? This is like my everyday tech stuff. Whenever I get out my computer, I'm at the cafe, I'm gonna be there for maybe a few hours. I'm gonna plug my thing in if I can. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm like. If I have the opportunity for docking, I'm gonna plug my shit in. I like to keep this with my computer as much as possible, right? So having that in this little, just right up here, it's out of the way, it feels great. Now, my notebook, which I used to keep in the front, over time has been kept right here. Why? Because this is the only shit I open. That's it. When I take this someplace, like, I can carry a lot of shit. I can put in my workout gear. I can put in my clothes for after the workout. I can bring my pouches. I can have my camera in a protective case. I can fit a lot of stuff. We're going to get into the capacity in a second. However, oftentimes I'm plopping right down, grabbing my computer, my charger, and my notebook. Well, all of those are right here. For me personally, that's where we're getting to the perfect pocketing. Old world styles, old world styles with perfect modern pocketing. Now, inside the main compartment, like I said, big. You're gonna wanna go pouches in here. You're gonna wanna have some inner organization inside of here. Big enough to throw your rolled up sweater or a rain jacket or something like that. Big enough to, no water bottle on the outside here. So my water bottle goes inside of here. You wanna make sure that you've got something that's like, it's cinched down. By the way, my Camelback Chute, favorite water bottle in the world. It left me. Yeah, she said I didn't respect her. Might have had something to do with the fact that I left her somewhere. So this I had lying around. It was from Four Sigmatic, but the company is Blender Bottle. And I gotta be honest, I've been liking this because I've got the insulation. It's really quite large. And I've got a little piece of plastic window right here so I can see roughly A, how much is in there, and B, if I've put in any of my my little things that color the water, typically with electrolytes and stuff like that. I am an electrolyte kind of guy. That's neither here nor there. I'm getting at is water bottle goes inside. You can fit it easily because there's tons of space. However, you want to make sure that it cinches up tight. Now, on this top or front panel of this, I think relatively perfect organization. Right here, that's where your heavy, bulky stuff that you don't need all the time, but you want to have it. Great place for it. Also, highly likely you forget what you have in here. Another spot where possibly mesh, so I could get a little visual access on that, could be good for me in the future track. And then the same thing up here, 2 pockets with a pen in between, but we don't have the elastic sort of bits right here, which I'm not sad about at all. Now, in use, all right, what's this thing been like to use? I've been using it for a little while. One thing that I notice, we've got these, I tend to leave stuff like this open, and instead of grabbing from the handle, which can sometimes, I'm just gonna come up in a second, can get a little mouthy, I oftentimes just grabbed from this main compartment edge, and it just felt good. I'm telling you this because it's just something that I noticed, because you might notice the same kind of thing, right? I've left these open often, and even when they're not open, this thing can get a little moofy, right? A little poofy, bloofy, just a little unstructured in its design. Part of that I love because it's elegant. The simplicity of this thing is elegant, right? Was it Voltaire who said, I didn't have enough time to write a shorter letter? It takes time to make things simple. I like the simplicity of this. I like that there's not a lot of extra, construction things going on. At the same time, I think having a little more structure on the back, possibly another piece of the liner in here to make this one panel here a little bit thicker. Track, holla at your boy. Okay, zipper pulls, all right? These are YKK number 5 zippers, water sealed. Oftentimes I can get a one-handed zip going, depending on how it's packed, what the positioning is and stuff like that. Again, another reason why I tend to just leave this open up here, and I've got access in there. I can tell when I'm at the tech pouch, I can tell when I'm at my little moment pouch, I can tell because of how I've packed it up, I can feel by the difference inside, I can be blind about that, right? So I don't need to be opening and closing the zips a lot. The zips have they're really strong. They're very durable. These water seals are better than other water seals. Again, like a lot of other water sealed zips, you can't get that freedom. You can feel the resistance quite a lot more. However, there's something kind of flimsy about them. I don't know if it's these zip pulls maybe. I do kind of like that you just put a finger in and you're pulling, you're gripping and ripping, but there is something that almost feels, I don't know if flimsy is the right word, but angular, sharp, I don't know. You'll notice when you get it, but that is not a deal breaker for me, personally, because it's a part of the styling and it's a part of the function, okay? The function on these water-sealed zips means you can have a lot of freedom of mind and be a little carefree when you're in a little bit of a rain situation. No mesh on this back panel, okay? And no structure. Again, that's so you're gonna get a little sweaty, and you're gonna feel whatever's in your bag. Again, my laptop's almost always right here. I don't put my laptop in a case when it goes in there. It's just my laptop because I'm okay with that. Arguably, there's been a couple times with this, I had my camera inside of the main compartment, just kind of thrown in there willy-nilly, and there was a set down or two where I was like, I'm gonna be more careful next time, So, I think a protective case, especially if you have any concern at all, definitely, and other than that, you're a little bit no lifeguard on duty. right? Only grown-ups allowed. So the weakest parts of this bag are just the floppiness, depending on how you, and kind of unstructuredness, depending on how you have it packed out. However, like the strongest parts, the elegance, the simplicity, the vibe, and the like kind of both heritage and modern aesthetic of this thing are really unique. The modern pocketing, like just enough pocketing without being overly over on pocketing, that's a big deal. The materials, the richness of the experience, right? The capacity, the fact that you can put a bunch of stuff in it, right? It's floppy because it has capacity. That's a feature as well as a bug. Ultimately, it is a very killer bag, one I'm excited to kind of add to Matterful.co in that category of like, you know, larger daily carry bags, or just it's like I wouldn't just call this a large bag, but I kind of would, because this is excelling in larger carry, and in more minimal carry it can be a little cumbersome because of the floppiness or something like that. Okay, all right, let's talk about this tech pouch. Same dry finish wax canvas. I like this little minimal branding. Same thing on the backpack, by the way. Just the olive with this and the little bit of yellow, little hit of yellow. You've got a handle with just like kind of a cotton canvas handle, which can be nice, you know, if you're carrying this thing around, because this is very carryable. This is very like, use this instead of a sling or something, because you just go under again, it's grandpa with the newspaper, tracksuit, fucking Kangol hat, heading down to the cafe. Let's have an espresso. Hey Jerry, how you doing? Okay, same YKK zippers, same zipper pulls, and then we open it up and we have this kind of, I don't know, this great little aesthetic. We've got these elastic bits for throwing some cables. This is how I have it set up. So there's big ones behind. You can see the fatness there, and some little ones on top. You've got pouches here and here. You've got more right here. This is my like USB-C, which is ready access, because that's the one I'm using most often, besides a USB micro for plugging in my USB headphones or something like that, as well as this cable for those same USB headphones when we get low on battery or I'm editing a video. Then you've got a zippered pocket. Again, another possible spot for the mesh where I could see what's inside of here. As it is, I have to open it up and look. I have decent visibility. I have another pair of headphones that I use in case batteries die out. I love the size of this, that I can put my Bluetooth headphones right in there and zipper up. And this is my like, I got it. Throw it in there. They got some protection. I have all the cords and cables I need for that. I have a spare pair of headphones. This is a very simple setup for me, but one that it's been in here the whole time, and anytime I need it, it's been there. So this Trakke, I think they call it like the Laggan, what do they call it? Pro Pouch. Epic little pouch. Okay, let's talk about this sling, their Largo Sling, all right? It's designed for some ergonomic sort of carry, and you feel it. As soon as you get it on, it's a large enough sling. I'd call it like a medium-large sling. You've got a pretty fat strap right here, killer Cobra buckle, all right, which is really heavy duty. This strap is interchangeable on the left and the right. You can change this to the other side depending on where you want it. But this Cobra buckle is just beefcakes McGillicuddy, all right? How's it look? I mean, it's kind of simple and easy. For me, this is like, again, it comes from the Scottish word Largo, means hillside in Scottish Gaelic, which is kind of nice. Very clean looks. Let's get this on the table here. Big kind of like curved oval openings on both of these things, right? Because we've got some capacity in here. In this front, we've got two little pouches if you want to throw a pocket knife or flashlight, things to keep out of the way. This is where I throw my phone, just kind of throw it in there. I've got my iPad 11-inch, my iPad Pro, threw a little pencil in there. I love that this fits that. I also just kind of threw some, like a battery and some cash and these glasses. You ever seen these glasses? Rove glasses, Rove way. They fold up like that, and then you can be like ready for Burning Man or going to like a Ren fair. Like a future tech Bitcoin sort of steampunk, you know. But they got a funky look. That's what I'm getting at. But the lenses feel great, and I do like this little thing because look, they're protected. They throw right in there, feeling good. We've got a zippered pouch inside of here, another place to store some stuff. And then these two pouches. This is semi-padded. This place with the iPad tablet thing there. Okay, feels solid. Here's that buckle again. Cobra's like got all this like technical writing on it, which looks like the stuff that they put on the Voyager. You know, the panel on the Voyager. That we're just like, hey, we're gonna send something way out there. Let's hire some experts. In case aliens find it, what do we want? What is our like communication to them? That's probably my favorite product of humanity ever. There's a book called Fire Upon the Deep. I found out about this guy Werner Vinge who wrote it. Great like science fiction novel, because he was on that panel of people with Carl Sagan to decide, like, you know, because he's apparently an expert in alternate forms of consciousness. I don't know how you become an expert in alternate forms of consciousness, other than taking a lot of drugs, probably. I think that's probably just a lot of, this is what the mushroom thinks. But with this guy, you've got these two huge, like, nubbins right here that clip right on, and you kind of just do a finger thing to push those down on the hand that you're lifting this up with, okay? Bada boom. And then when you're putting this on, again, getting used to this, pulling it on, clip it. This is not just this sling, this is any sling. I actually like that the handle's right here, that the clip is right here. Because then I'm going like this, I am grabbing, if I can get it, grabbing, and then this just comes right over the shoulder like this. Now I'm in that mode. You know, that way I don't have to do that whole, you know, Chris D'Elia had this bit about like sling guys getting into their slings. You know, it's like, I don't actually have to, Chris. Anyways, big, beefy, capable little clip here. I think it's, arguably I want to be like, it's over-engineered, but the truth is this fits the aesthetic so well. This whole thing feels like dense and real and like an object your grandchildren are going to find in your closet. They probably won't, because they don't care, they won't be carrying things. This, with that clip and all this just feels really good and solid. And I haven't seen it on me. You saw, I'll see it when I'm editing this. I feel like it probably looks good. So that's the new Trakke stuff. I really think that this is an evolution for them. I think they've put together some epic stuff. They've got a real solid vibe over there at Trakke. And now a pedigree of not just making simple products, but making well-designed simple products. I am giving all of these the massive thumbs up because they're very lovely to work with on a daily basis. They really are. These products, like, they speak to your hands, they speak to your gear when it's all tucked away inside of there. The perfect pocketing on this thing. I think they're a success. Okay, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this. Holler in the comments with any questions. You can always check out Matterful.co. That's where I'm keeping lists up to date of my favorite daily carry, travel bags and backpacks, duffel bags, messenger bags, camera backpacks, as well as the channel here. Make sure you subscribe, because everyday goods that are actually fucking good sounds good, right? I don't know. If you're watching to now, you should. Let me just be honest. A lot of people didn't make it to now, so that means you and I have a little bit of a connection, right? So, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Head over to Matterful.co, and by the way, if you get on the email list there at the bottom, I very rarely send emails. There's no spam, but there are occasional giveaways which we run on this channel. The way you enter in those giveaways is you get on the email list there. Also following on Instagram. Those are the two sort of areas that I do giveaways at. So, there you have it. That's my business model in a nutshell. You got any products you like? You have any, like, what's your favorite sling, tech pouch, and/or largish backpack? Maybe you have something I haven't used yet, and I'll get in touch with the company based on your recommendation. Shout out to the Patreon supporters. I did put a new private podcast up there. Get in there. Basically, the Patreon is like, there's a handful of videos that are only available to patrons, and podcast episodes, which are private. You'll get instant access to that stuff, depending on the tier that you choose. Okay, friends. How you doing? Stay healthy. Get in that sunlight. Use your lungs. This is your temple. What happens in a temple? This is my question to you. I'm not going to answer it. What happens in a temple? Okay? Keep your temple clean. Keep it. Let's have some fit temples. All right? Which everybody's body looks different. Everybody's fitness level is different, right? Just for you, get in that sunlight. Go for a walk. Try to walk for 2 miles. You know how long that is? Cue up an audiobook. 2 miles. It's not hard. It's just time. And that is a metaphor. Bye-bye.